Maybe you'll make it deeper and richer, more exciting, more lively. Maybe you'll feel the energy in your body as you really, really dive into this powerful aspect that allows us to transform every aspect of our life. So, welcome to your self love hour. And we're taking people's calls today, Nathan, correct?
We are. And don't forget that the phone number to call in is 425-373-5527 or 877-828-8828. And I wanted to say that, you said it's the fall in love with yourself hour. Well, I was just looking at because it's fall is here. It's like, this is the first show in fall. Was like, no, the first show of fall was last week. So we just
really?
missed that. Yeah, but it's fall and we're falling in love with ourselves.
Wonderful. So who do we have on the phone lines?
Let's go ahead and head up there now. We got Erica calling us from Virginia. Welcome to the show, Erica. You're live with Marie Manuchehri.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi. What can I do for you, Erica?
Hi, Marie. Thank you so much for all that you do. I'm calling in because I struggle with vivid dreams and nightmares, as well as racing thoughts and anxiety. I've seen a psychiatrist before, and they kind of just say the treatment is my unconscious and SSRIs, but those really scare me, and I've tried them before, and they've seemed to make my symptoms worse. So I'm wondering if you have any advice or can see anything in my energy.
Yes. So I don't think that was the best advice in the world. There are some people who truly need antidepressants, mood elevators and things of that nature, but it's a very small percentage on the planet, like probably less than 3% of the population, which of course isn't the number that takes that amount of medication. When people have nightmares, and I know this because I've interviewed a lot of dream analysis people. So people who have a lot of nightmares, they have a ton of anxiety during the day and they're not resolving it. And so that anxiety just carries off into their sleep state. So really what you're meant to do is learn how to manage your mind. Now, I didn't hear that part from the sleep expert, but people who have anxiety need to learn to manage their mind. It's critical. It's important. And most people who have anxiety too are self-critical. They're hard on themselves, which is the opposite of self-love, right? So you have to treat, I use this metaphor often, but you have to start treating your mind like a dog, not a cat. So cats, maybe a little bit smarter than dogs out in the wild. Like I let my cats outside because I have indoor outdoor cats. They know how to not get hit by cars. They don't eat poison. They eat food that's appropriate for them. They know how to find their way back home. But they're also very free individual thinkers. Even when I told them to sit, they wouldn't, like they do what they want. Now, dogs, on the other hand, need constant, positive, loving management. Because if you let them outside, they could get lost. Unfortunately, dogs get hit by cars fairly frequently. Charles still doesn't understand that a car is a dangerous machine, and he's walked by thousands of them. And a lot of dogs will eat just about anything, even poison. So think of your mind as a dog. It needs a lot of loving management. You have to course correct throughout the day. And how you start your morning is really going to matter, because even though you had some scary dreams at night, you're really releasing anxiety when you're doing that, which is great. First thing when you wake up in the morning, you want to reset your vibration again. You want to listen to calming music or meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. Do something that brings you a lot of joy and happiness and fulfillment first thing in the morning so you can keep this flow of high vibration in your body.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. And keep us posted. I want to know how you do with your mind self-management.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome.
Thanks for your call, Erica. And Marie, you done any pickleball lately since we last checked?
Yeah, I think I did. Yes, on the weekend. Yes, a little bit of pickleball. Yes,
I've been
really
doing
fun.
some myself as well. Oops.
Oh, good.
So
good.
It's a lot of fun. I tried playing singles for the first time and maybe nearly dislocated a couple of things because you got to move around so much. But
right, yeah.
There's more important.
I haven't played doubles yet. Singles is really fun.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do some more phone calls. We got Daniel calling from Florida. Welcome to the show, Dan. Oops. Looks like we maybe lost Daniel here, and we'll just keep talking about pickleball because it seems like a couple of our calls have just suddenly dropped. So we're working on that right now with
Well,
Jen over there.
why don't we not talk about pickleball for a moment? And why don't we just continue to talk about awareness and consciousness and the elevation of the soul? You know, everyone is a soul. So what that means, you have this huge body of energy that actually doesn't live here on Earth. The majority of your energy lives in the heavens, way up in the cloud formations, in the fifth dimension, actually, especially when you reincarnate your parts of your soul to the human reality. You need to have access to your soul. So it stays in the fifth dimension, which is the heaven for our world. And when you're in human form, because you don't bring all of your awareness and all of your conscious to the planet, I always say you don't do that because you would go crazy. Susan Giesman says that her guides told her that you just would implode. Your body would just implode if you brought all that mass consciousness and energy to the physical realm. So when you relax and take good care of yourself and are loving and kind to yourself, you have access to this genius, this wealth of information that you've been cultivating and, evolving all of the centuries that you have been in existence. You have access to it. So that's another important reason to fall madly in love with yourself, so that you can have access to your higher forms of consciousness.
All right, we got more phone lines. They're just filling up like they usually do, so we don't have to worry about if the calls just suddenly go away, because we got somebody right on the line again. So let's go ahead and speak with Lisa in Pacific Grove. Welcome to the show, Lisa. You're live with Marie.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? I'm on my speakerphone.
Yes, we can hear you just fine. What can I do for you, Lisa?
Great, thank you. I'm calling because I want to talk about my brother today. He's actually in the state of Washington and has an appointment with his neuro-oncologist, which I didn't know what this word meant, but he has a glioblastoma.
Right.
It just happened 3 weeks ago. His surgery was 2 weeks ago, Friday. So I'm just wondering if you can maybe give me a read or some advice, or how is he doing? Is he getting ready to leave his body? I just don't know.
Well, that is the typical plan of most people who have a glioblastoma. That doesn't mean that has to be everyone's plan, right? They typically can be aggressive tumors and hard to treat. Even when they do surgery, sometimes they come back. So here's what can happen to help your brother, and I don't mean sometimes, most of the time they come back, to help your brother stay away or stay cancer development in his brain, is to not be in denial. So anytime we have a lot of denial in our life, which means we could have stayed in a relationship that was really unhealthy, or we stayed in a work environment we didn't like, but we felt responsible for our family, and we denied our own emotions. It doesn't really matter what the topic is, but it's going to be something that's fairly significant in someone's life. That's what leads to brain deterioration, not just something like a brain tumor that's cancerous, but also things like epilepsy and Alzheimer's. Any brain disease is related to this energetic, inability to actually look at oneself or ask the hard questions or share one's truth. Does that make sense in what you know about your brother?
It does. The part that's most mystifying is that he retired 4 years ago and is now living this like super happy life, and he seems so blissful, and he's writing poetry. Aww. And really, he's a beautiful person who I dearly love, and he enjoys cooking.
He is a really, really beautiful soul. So if indeed, because he worked a job he didn't like for a long time, it's like the energy was already stored there. Maybe 4 years wasn't enough time. Even though he played, did he talk about his difficulties? Did he talk about the discomfort? Denial doesn't mean just change, which is important, but early change. It also means self-expression, so that you learn, because when we don't express how we feel, that means we most likely will continue to do the same things over and over and over again. But I believe in miracles. I truly, truly do. I have quite a few clients who have survived pancreatic cancer, which was pretty high on the chart with glioblastomas in terms of mortality rate. So I truly, truly, truly believe that people can change their energy. They can change disease processes. I know he's excellent physicians and wonderful doctors. So, what I would do, since you love him so much, I would just try to stay out of the worry as much as you can, which he's actually doing. Although that is still a little bit a state of his denial aspect. We don't really know what he's feeling because feeling his real feelings hasn't been a part of his consistent experience. But if you could feel and see him as if he's completely healthy, not that he's recovered from it, but like almost as if he never got sick. If you could hold that vibration and energy for him, that could have profound effects on him living for a longer period of time or completely recovering from the disease.
That is lovely. That makes total sense to me. And I've almost turned that corner in this short amount of time into believing that and seeing that. I know we've talked about death, and he doesn't have a fear of it, just like I don't.
Doesn't. Right.
So
he doesn't.
I know, yeah, that letting go is a good thing, and there's no fear. So I believe that's a good thing. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, I think it's a good thing. And I also think that of course we're going to have some fears. Like in the moment, you and I, and even your brother may not have a lot of fears about death. I mean, we don't think we do, and it doesn't seem like it. And we have a lot of beauty attached to the other side and a lot of understanding about the transition of one's energy from one dimension to another. So that's all beautiful things. But we don't know exactly how we might feel from a human perspective in that moment. But you're absolutely right. When the energy leaves the body as it's transcending and leaving the body, it's extremely blissful and happy and excited. Even when the body is reacting differently, it's the energy is thrilled and so excited for the journey of a new reality that is very, very different than our earth realm.
It's so fascinating. It's all these loved ones circling around that, of course, I'm most concerned about, particularly his two sons, my nephews, and, of course, his wife, who I adore. So, and my mother is still alive, so this is a challenge for her.
It is a challenge. And you're right. A lot of beings are around us all the time, especially when we are transcending. They come and help and participate in this beautiful exchange. It's like going to a baby shower or a birth. It's a birth truly into another world. I know your mom, though, your mom's got a great head on her shoulders. She loves her family deeply and dearly. And I think your mother also respects, whether it's conscious or unconsciously, the human realm and the human choices that we make. So I feel her honoring your son, of course, wanting him to be here and to stay here forever, or at least a long period of time. But I also feel her great honor. I think your mother did a lovely job raising her children.
She sure did, and that is so sweet. This will be wonderful to play this back for her. You are such a dear for saying that, and it's been such a struggle and such a shock for all of us. And,
I know. I know. Some forms of cancer are like that. They're so quick, and yet you have to make quick decisions really fast, like having surgery right away and other treatments like gamma knife or whatever is prescribed postoperatively for that type of tumor. It is very quick. It is very shocking. So I'm so sorry your family's going through that. And I'm going to be sending you all tons of love and tons of energy and beautiful energy to your brother's brain.
Thank you. Thank you. That's exactly what I hoped for today. I'm so glad I got through. Thank you.
Me
so
too.
Much.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day. So Nathan, that could be why some of the phone calls fell off, right? There aren't like obvious reasons why things happen. There's magical reasons why things happen. And this person really wanted to get through. And, medicine is one of my favorite conversations. Obviously, I adore medicine, all forms of it, find it fascinating. So that could be why they all fell off so that this woman could sneak in and we could have
does happen for a reason. We're glad we could take your call, Lisa.
Yes, it was great.
Well, let's go ahead and do this. Let's take a little early of a break. We're almost there, but we'll do it now. We get more time during the middle of the show to spend with our callers. So everybody, if you're on the line, just stay with us. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back here on the Marie Manuchehri Show. Stay with us. I'll buy you a diamond ring, my friend, if that makes you feel all right. We're back here on the Manuchehri Show, taking your calls. But before we go back there, is there anything you need to say?
Yeah, I have 2 more coaching classes coming up in the winter. So a 12-week psychic coaching class where you learn all about psychic energy and how to access your own psychic energy and be able to read things psychically, January 22nd through April 8th. And then also energy healing, one of my favorite courses where we talk about how to heal, how to help yourself heal, how to help others heal, just all the premises and perceptions and aspects of your energy system and the world of healing. And of course, I've got 2 new classes coming up, The Soul's Journey, which is an 8-week class. I offer that at a lower price point than my 12-week coaching courses so that, people have options. And we're going to talk about all the different things that souls experience and everything that's out there in the cosmos and how to connect to all of that, how to experience the divine magic of the multi-universes. That's going to be really fun.
And that's really especially important to know about the cosmos because we got so many of those planets out there in retrograde and changing.
I know.
You gotta really tap into what's happening.
Yeah, I'm really happy Venus is going to go direct soon. That'll be exciting. At like September 4th, I believe it is. It starts to go to direct. So that'll be really nice.
And I always, Mercury, when that goes direct, it's always good because, at the radio station, we get our technology just glitching out and we know it can start working properly again.
I love Mercury retrograde. My psychic energy is in Pisces and in Mercury, and I'm just a clearer channel during Mercury retrograde. So I love when Mercury goes retrograde. It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's bittersweet times, that's for sure. Let's go ahead and take Kim calling us from Federal Way. Welcome to the show, Kim. You're live with Marie on the Marie Manuchehri Show. Hey, Kim, are you there? Kim in Federal Way?
I'm here.
You're live.
Oh, good. Great. Hi, Kim. What can I do for you?
Hi. So I quit my job in November. It was really stressful. And my intention was that I'm smart enough and I can find another one. And fast forward 9 months later, I still don't have a job and rejection. I'm getting rejection. I'm trying to stay in a really high energy state.
Right. So here's what's happening. You're still looking in areas of work that don't make you happy and that are not fulfilling. So it's not just what was happening at that job or who you were working for. It was also just you're bored. You don't want to do that anymore. So you need to figure something else out. You need to either train yourself in something else, or if you really, really want to work right now, go do something that's super fun, and pleasing for you. I don't know if I would really like this, but I love coffee shops. So I've always thought, I could manage a coffee shop, or I could be a barista on the weekends, or, like some fun job if you want to, but you can't go back to the same industry. You're not going to you can eventually wear down the universe and get a job, but you're not going to be happy in it. And the universe knows that about you and is thrilled that you've taken this time to reflect and reevaluate. And ultimately, hopefully that you'll choose yourself in all of this and find something that really fulfills you.
Yes, I agree with you. How do I find that?
Such a great question. Well, first and foremost, because you've already spent a lot of time finding a job, I would take a break right now.
Okay.
No more rejections, no more interviews. Of course, you get to do whatever you want, regardless of what I say, right? You have free will. It's very important. I would focus on doing everything that makes you happy. Okay. So whatever that is, like, I love to walk my dog. So I walk him twice a day, and I walk him for like 3 miles, twice a day. So, so that's one thing. What else do you enjoy? Do you enjoy gardening? Do you like looking at the cosmos or the stars? Whatever it is. I also love to drive. I sometimes just, throw Charles or pick up one of my kids and drive around the city in the evening, go get a decaf coffee or something and just have some fun. So if you can start to put your energy in things that authentically bring you joy, that job search you're going to be in a different vibration, a different frequency. You're not going to be in like, I have to get a job, even though I don't want to do this again. You'll be in a very different vibration, and you'll start to attract new ideas. You might even meet an employer who has a lovely job for you and hires you on the spot because you're going to be in alignment with what your being wants you to experience.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So that means you have to sit down and decide what makes me happy. That's an important activity that human beings need to do, not just once, but over and over and over again, because our likes and dislikes change over time, which is normal. That's healthy.
Yeah. Yes. And that's what I've been doing, is what makes me happy.
Good.
And the thing
And then
I
participate
don't
in
want to
it.
do any of it.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then participate in it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And up next in our phone calls, looks like we got Cheryl in New York calling us. Welcome to the West Coast, Cheryl, from the East Coast. You're live on the air.
Hello, how are you? Thank you.
We're great. Thank you. Sure. What can I do for you?
I'm hoping for some wisdom from the universe. I'm just feeling a bit chaotic and very fearful lately, and a lot of questions on my mind. So I'm hoping that maybe the universe can just pull out exactly what I need to hear right now.
So what are you fearful of?
I'm not even sure. Right.
So this is a prime example of you listening to your mind versus your authentic emotional body.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong or going on. You somehow got overly anxious or stressed out about something, and that energy just kept building and building and building. And you didn't get away from your brain to connect to your authentic emotional body. Because fear is an illusion. It's not a real feeling. The soul is really not afraid of anything. So when we're in that place, that means we've disconnected to the alignment of our higher self-consciousness. So what do you do to help your energy to elevate? What's your plan of action? Do you have one? And are you participating in it?
Well, I think honestly, I've been working on myself so long, I don't know how to interact in the world anymore, or to handle people with different energies than mine. And I'm just...
Yeah. So you're really smart and very aware and conscious. So I disagree with what you just said. Maybe you just need different people in your life, different friends, different counterparts. That's probably what's going on, is that you're continuing to maintain relationships, and part of what's going on that isn't in your best interest. And you're thinking that, oh, they're going to change, or something's just wonky with the universe. But when we're having a hard time relating to the people around us, that has probably everything to do with the fact that they shouldn't be around us.
And what about if they're family? And I know I've heard you say, you know, that the family is not necessarily blood related. Most particularly right now, there's an issue with my brother, and I don't know how to handle my relationship with my brother.
I don't think you're supposed to. So in other words, I think he's difficult. I don't think there is a lot you can do to have the relationship that you want with him. And I think in the past, you were just maybe more accepting and said, oh, sure, that's fine. And you thought you didn't need a certain type of connection or relationship, and you've changed. And you're no longer wanting to just run around and agree with everyone when it's not a part of what you want to experience. You know what I mean?
Right. And right now he's in the hospital, and I don't know how to turn off my caring about him.
Well, first of all, I love that about you. You're obviously an old soul, highly empathic. I love that you love him so much. But how about next time you go visit him or you talk to him, I want you to be in a different mindset. Try not to think of him as your brother. And I'm not saying this to relinquish that tie necessarily. I just want you to be in a different vibrational status, because it's going to be easier for you to make decisions that also support you. So think of him as a soul, because that's really what he is. All of us have had lots of brothers and sisters and aunts and uncles and mothers and fathers and husbands and wives and, you know, all kinds of relationships throughout all of our incarnations. And not one is more valuable or important in the soul's perspective. He's a soul. So if you could say that he's in a soul, I think you're going to have a very different perception and allow yourself to get back to your insight, because you have really great insight that I think will free a lot of your anxiety. Does that make sense?
It does. It
Because
does. I just don't know how to get out of my head and get there.
Yeah, yeah, right. So like hang out on your feet, feel your glute muscles when you're sitting down, be very loving to yourself instead of everybody else on the planet. Your brother is exactly where he needs to be. You know, this is his opportunity to potentially make some changes in his life. You know what I mean?
Oh wow, that would be amazing.
I know. It's an opportunity. It doesn't mean he will, but it's his opportunity. So look at it differently. Notice how your energy has already changed just from that sentence.
Yeah.
Right? This is his opportunity. So can we celebrate this a little bit? Can we go, wow, he really wants to learn, you know, A, B, C, D, and E, and F. He may not. We don't know. That's up to him. It's not a race. Every soul's figuring out their own consciousness and awareness as they roll along throughout the cosmos. But this is his opportunity to reevaluate his decision making and perhaps make different choices. It's an exciting time for him.
Yeah, we've been here before, though, so I don't know if you will.
Of course.
But I can try and see it that way.
Yeah. See, notice you dropped your energy again. So make sure you keep raising it back up. Again, this is, you know, my youngest brother, I think he tried to quit smoking 20 times. And he called me one day, this was years ago, after he had gone back to smoking, and he was so upset. And I said to him, I go, I'm so proud of you. Every single moment that you tried, I'm so proud of you. He no longer smokes and hasn't for years. And so it took him a while. So it doesn't matter if we figure it out now, or we figure it out 5 years from now, or we figure it out in a different reality, or after we leave our body. It doesn't matter. This is one of his opportunities, and this is the time of celebration, not of whatever else you're feeling.
Right. I just have to learn, I think, to not pull away and to be okay with loving him, even though he doesn't have the capacity to give it back. That's
I think, you know, you've known this for a long time, that he doesn't have that ability. And you can love everybody. I love everyone on the planet, but that doesn't mean I have relationships with them, or I have them in my personal life. Individuals who don't have that capacity to support me or care for me, that's not in my best interest for where I am in my own growth and consciousness. So it's okay to love him, but also not have a tight, connected relationship with him as well. You don't have to take care of him. He's in the hospital right now. Nurses and doctors are taking care of him. So, okay?
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next on Marie Manuchehri, we're going to just stay in New York because Mara is calling us from New York City. Welcome to the show, Mara. You are live on the Marie Manuchehri Show.
Oh my gosh, hi.
Hi, Mara.
How are you?
I love New York. You know what? And of course, I'm sure lots of people have already been there. I didn't go to New York. I didn't really travel in the States till I was in my 40s. Like all my kids were kind of somewhat grown up, and I started to travel even internationally. And when I was so shocked, as soon as you get out of the cities, you're in dense forests forever. You know, it's like, wow.
A short commute away from like the woods or the beach or, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense. I mean, it's incredible. It's really beautiful. So what can I do for you?
Well, this is why I'm calling you, right? Because I live in one of the most intense cities in the world. For me, I wanted to just get your insights on, because I know you're very powerful, right? Like you have a lot of talents and abilities. And so for me, I'm calling about like issues with love and how to, ramp up my career. Like I want to earn more. I just want to do more. And I know that I'm getting in my way.
I love that.
So how can I like break through? How can
I So it sounds like what you want is an upgrade in your life. You want to upgrade in your love life. You want to upgrade in your career. You want to upgrade in your wealth sector, right? You want to upgrade, right?
Actually, I would love to have a love life because right now I'm sort of...
Well, and that's an upgrade, by the way. But as you're upgrading, for those people who want a relationship, as you're upgrading, you're going to notice the relationships that you already have that are healthy and wonderful are going to be so much more loving and fun and interesting. You're going to start to create deeper bonds with other people who are actually so good for you and healthy and would care about you as much as you care about yourself. So do you know what my answer is to this question?
Yeah. No, I
Okay,
know,
what?
but it's tough to hear.
It's self-love. You have to work on your self-love and your self-worth. That's what upgrades one's life. That means you have to feel incredible love for yourself every day, multiple times a day. It's a practice and it's a habit, and that's what upgrades our wealth. That's what upgrades all your relationships, career, everything. Everything changes as you fall in love with yourself. And I think when I look at you, part of what would be helpful is to nurture some younger aspects of yourself, because you're strong and you're independent, which is a blessing, but you don't let a lot of people in. Agree?
Right. Yes, yes. And
So,
this
so
is
that,
interesting because I'm a therapist, right? So,
oh, yeah, okay. But I mean, because I understand, I used to use that as an excuse. Well, I'm an intuitive. I work in the healing world. I can't have a lot of people in my life. That was one of the things that I would say to myself, which I don't say any longer.
okay.
Is I think you should, since you're a therapist, I would do some work on your inner children, give them what they needed, because that's where it all started. That's where that fierceness and this lifetime, because this is a past life situation. This is a multiple past life situation. That's why it's big, that's why it's been challenging. You're smart, you're intelligent, you have knowledge, and why this has been hard for you. So if you could start really loving and giving those inner children the nurturing they did not get when they were younger, which could be for practical reasons. It doesn't have to be anything nefarious. We even used to think like children should be seen, not heard, right? That was a familiar phrase. And it wasn't too long ago where people used to smack their kids, or spank them, or things of that nature. So
absolutely.
I think
I was one of those. I was one of those kids. So
right. So you have to nurture those parts of yourself, those internal, beautiful, amazing parts of yourself. You like maybe even make a different home and have different parents there, and imagine yourself there, living there and adoring and cherishing yourself, and your parents being incredible, very loving and unconditional and aware of your needs and curious about your mental health. And then that's when the upgrades start to occur.
So, okay, because, this is so interesting, because it's like I hear everything that you're saying that makes sense. My practical mind is kicking in and saying, well, okay, what do I do? Like, what's the next step? How do I do this, right? Like,
well, I think I just told you, right? So what you're actually hearing in your practical mind is resistance. You have resistance to upgrading. Even though you want it, you have a resistance to upgrading, because it's change. Change is going to occur when you upgrade your life. Resistance, it does not mean, I need to back away from this idea. It means come here. Resistance means, this is a really good idea. And you're a very intelligent person. You're a therapist. You're intelligent about emotions. So even if the recommendation that I just gave about the house wasn't fulfilling enough or didn't make sense, you could go read books about it. You could talk to other therapists about it. There's a million things you could do about this, because you even have the knowledge on how to get through loving the inner child. You know what to do. Okay.
Healing inner child. Got it.
Yes. And then loving
right?
yourself in the moment too, just in your everyday life, just loving and adoring and cherishing yourself.
Okay.
And then after you do that for a few months, call us back and tell us what's happening. Like maybe 4 months, and let us know what's been going on. Okay.
This is perfect. I'm actually planning, I want to go to your self-love
Yay!
event.
I highly recommend it. It's going to be so fun. I mean, it's like, 2 months away now? I'm so excited. So yes, if you could fly to Seattle for a weekend of learning how to self-love and understand the energetic principles behind it would be, I think, super fun.
Thank you so much for taking time.
You're welcome. And thank you for everything you do in the world as well. Thank you so much.
Right. Yeah, same, because you were in similar fields, right, in your past.
Yes.
So and that's another reason why I felt called to call you. So I appreciate
Thank you. Thank you for calling. I truly appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks for your call, Mara. We're going to step away for a bit on the Manuchehri Show, take a quick break, and find out more about those classes that we were just mentioning. So everybody stay with us. You'll be back on the phone lines in just a couple minutes when we return from this break. We'll be right back. We are back here on the Manuchehri Show. We are still taking your calls for the rest of the hour, but first, Marie, you got some things you want to say about your upcoming classes.
Yeah. So, you know, I haven't taught Reiki since before the pandemic, actually. So it's been a few years, and we have a class coming up at the end of this month. It is sold out, which is lovely. But if you're interested, I'm going to teach it again next year, probably in the spring. We're, reserving spots in the same lovely hotel, The Lodge, which is nestled in a state park in Kenmore, Washington. Just beautiful, beautiful area. There's trails down to the lake. I hike there often. It's actually stunning. So if you are interested, we would love it if you let us know, and we could put you on the list so that when we do launch that lovely 3.5 day, or is it 2.5 day? Yeah, 2.5 day, where you get all the levels of Reiki through deep meditation, get to meet your spirit guides, you get to work on other people twice and do a distance session. I mean, it's a very powerful, very filled 2.5 days with amazing food at the lodge. Let us know so we can let you know, so that class won't sell out without you getting on the schedule.
And is there a wait list or anything like that?
Yeah, you can just go to energyintuitive.com and fill out a form, write into us or call. Our phone number is on the website, and we'll be happy to put you on the list.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and take some more phone calls here on the Marie Manuchehri Show. Coming up next, we got Mayrin calling from India. Welcome to the show. You are live with Marie.
Hi, Marie. This is Nayan.
Hi. Hi, Nayan. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I was in US for some time, and I have spoken to you before, me and my elder sister, Silky Kasera. And it's so nice to speak to you again. I'm back to India, and I'm good.
Well,
and
thank you for calling again. What can I do for you?
Right. I recently left my job. I was working with Amazon for quite some time, around 10 to 12 years. And then one day I just felt like leaving it, and I left it. And at this moment, I don't know, I have a lot of anger within me, not against people generally, since childhood. And overall, I don't know what to do next in my life. Like, I can go back, I can crack any tech company, but I don't know, I'm just not happy at this very moment. And I just felt like connecting with you again because of this reason. This is what I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, I wouldn't recommend going back into the work sector if you don't have to, while you're still mad and frustrated and annoyed. Have you been pounding any pillows or throwing pillows, slamming doors? Like, help yourself get this anger out. Maybe even get a badminton racket and smack a bunch of pillows, that are piled up on the bed. You want to let this anger out of your body. Maybe go scream in the shower, or when you're driving in the car, roll up all the windows and scream your head off. I want you to really let this anger and frustration out of your body. So, anger is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. We just need to be able to express it in ways that feel good to us and safe to us. And then I think you're going to be in a different frequency and vibration, because you haven't, even though you left your job, and I know Amazon is a strong company to work for. They require a lot out of their employees, like Microsoft. People work very hard in those industries, very hard. And you haven't had fun yet. I don't want you to go back to work until you've released the anger and had fun doing that as well, and then got back into happiness and joy, so that you can start to find work in your life that would be pleasing and fulfilling and authentic for you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. I don't know. So I'll try to get out my anger, and then what next? What to do next in my life that will give me actually happiness? The path, is it me, or is it something else?
Well, it's going to be something else, but you need to finish letting the anger out. What? I have a coach that I work with, and she had me once throw a whole carton of eggs at a tree, just to be really mad and just throw the egg at the tree, So I just want you to spend some more time in this place. This is a powerful place. You have a lot of things to be mad about and frustrated about and annoyed about. And there's nothing wrong with being in your beautiful anger. And then things will start to make sense afterwards. So give yourself some time, maybe a few more months, just letting the frustration and the anger out of your body. Some of this may not even be from this lifetime. It could be from other lifetimes. And it's okay to have it. It's okay to express it in ways that are comfortable for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And then I think one of the things you'll discover, but we'll see, we'll find out, is writing. I think you're a great writer. And I think it could be something that you enjoy doing.
Writing? Okay.
Writing. Yeah. But let's get the anger out first. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much and have a beautiful time in India.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayron, for calling the Marie Manuchehri Show. Up next on our phone line list is Melanie calling from North Carolina. Welcome to the show, Melanie. You're live with Marie on the Marie Manuchehri Show. That's a little bit of a mouthful there, isn't it?
It's a long name, yeah.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hey, Melanie, you're live.
Yes, awesome. Melanie, I can hear you. Yeah. So are you safe from the flooding in North Carolina?
Yes, I think it missed us.
Yay! Yeah. Yay. And North Carolina is one of my favorite states because I have a baby that lives there. I mean, she's 35, so she's not a baby, but she's my baby. Yeah. So what can I do for you?
I'm in a really crazy season of life, and I kind of have a question, and I kind of want a mediumship reading, and I don't know how much you might have time for. They might go hand in hand, but I'm also a counselor. I've resonated with a lot of the callers today, needing to work on my inner child, needing to work on self-care. Anxiety has kept me from doing a lot of things, keeps me from highway driving, and I've worked on it for years and years.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So I know kind of the steps I need to take, but I have a lot of resistance. I've heard a lot about microdosing psychedelics. It's not really accessible to me.
Right.
Here where I live.
Right.
I'm kind of curious if that's something that you see that could be
I actually have
helpful
positive feelings.
anxiety.
I actually have positive feelings for some mental health issues or even addictions that microdosing or whatever of the different psychedelics. But have you allowed yourself to be joyful that you're taking all the back roads? I drive on the freeway. I have no issues with it, but I love the back roads. And so does one of my grandchildren. She goes, whenever she's in the car with her mom, because her mom loves the highway, Camilla says to her mom, my oldest, she goes, Mom, take the back roads like Mimi does. Take the back roads. So sometimes what allows us to shift our energy and let go of some phobias that we might have is to actually embrace where we are and value and appreciate where you are, because you've done so much work on this. Have you really just, well, I love this part of myself and this doesn't have to change. I'm okay. Have you done that yet?
I have a hard time with that.
Yeah. Because that could be what flips the coin. You know what I mean? That type of energy, that acceptance and letting go and being kind to yourself and nurturing yourself and valuing who you are and what you're doing right now is a huge transformational, energetic, jump for
I want
your
to be,
human being.
Like an ideal, mother for my children, and I don't want them to see those limitations, and I try to be open about it with them, but
nobody's perfect. Who cares? I mean, who cares? This is minor. And you're a great mother. You're loving, you're kind, you're compassionate. Your children are blessed. Who cares? Who cares? I think you need to accept this, and not because it's something you have to accept for the rest of your life, but I think it's the next step to healing this so that you can jump on the freeway without feeling, anxious or concerned or fearful. And I appreciate you not jumping on the freeway when you don't feel comfortable doing so. I'm proud of you for doing that, because that's not healthy for you at all. So let your children love you the way you are. Let them love you unconditionally, because they don't really care that much either.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Do you have any time to see if my dad is hanging out in
it's your dad.
Anywhere close? My dad is passed. I don't want to take up too much time, but I've been
you're fine.
Calls. And,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. What did you say?
Oh, I've been hearing people call for mediumship readings.
Oh, yeah. I am a medium. I'll be teaching a course on the Shift Network in the fall on mediumship. It's one of my favorite topics in the world. I'm kind of hard on parenting because there aren't a lot of people that are, in my opinion, it's changing rapidly, who have been great parents. That's just my opinion. Right. It could be very biased or judgmental, but I really like your dad. I really like him. So I'm so sorry he's on the other side.
Thank you.
Yeah, he has just
I just wondered if he has any messages or anything like that, because I don't really feel him as much as I want to.
Well, as you start to value and appreciate yourself and stop being hard on yourself for taking the back roads, which, by the way, you live in North Carolina. It's beautiful there. There's a lot of gorgeous rural counties there. Your father, he, first of all, adores you, cherishes you. He's like bright sunshine. He's like bright, bright light sunshine. And he says, so are you, honey. You are the bright light sunshine. He goes, let that be what everyone sees. Let that be what everyone encounters. Allow that sunshine, that bright light that you have within you to come out. He goes, because not only will that, make people love you even more. He goes, but you'll be much happier if you can be in that energy. And he knew how to embody that, especially around his children.
Thank you.
Yeah, he loved being a parent. It was one of his gifts, he believes. And I agree with him. It can be an incredible gift for a person to experience.
Thank you. September is his birthday month, and I thought it was such a gift to get through to you, and I appreciate that.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And he's with you all the time. He goes, just take the back roads. I get to hang out with you longer. He likes it. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Marie, what do you think? You got time for a quick 2-minute call, or do we need to start wrapping things up?
I'll try.
Let's waste no time and start speaking with Cindy in Texas. Welcome to the show, Cindy. You're live with Marie. What's your question today?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm kind of torn between mediumship and a question. The question relates to my husband's been making an incredible effort to get a job, but it's been a long time. And just wondering if we're being overly optimistic, if a change is on the horizon, and, if everything happens for a reason, why is this happening?
Yeah, that's a really good question. What I'm about to say, you may not agree with me, but your husband doesn't really want to work. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to work. I think he's tired. I think he's kind of worn out. Is he having any fun?
A little bit, but yeah. So no, what do we do?
Right. So first of all, he needs to start having fun, like I told the other caller, and then he needs to find a job that doesn't feel like a job, that feels like fun, that maybe he works even 4 days a week. Things are going to start to change for you guys once all these major planets start to go direct. Even Venus will help a lot, which is coming up in September. So look for like October. Things will start to get better for all of you, but he doesn't really want to work, and that's okay. That's not a bad thing to desire. Like, it's okay. I wish you would voice it more. I wish you guys would sit down and have a conversation so you could figure out a plan where you could do something that's fun for him or fulfilling for him. I don't blame him. But when people all over the world do things that don't make them happy, who wants to go do that every single day for 8 hours a day? It's
I've been trying to encourage him to do that, but he has responsibilities from a previous marriage and a previous child that I think he feels I know.
I'm sure everybody has responsibilities. Everybody needs wealth, but let's go ahead and find a way to do it that is joyful and fun. So maybe sit down and have a conversation. I have to go. I'm so sorry. I hope you have a beautiful day in Texas. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening to the show. And thank you for loving yourself just a little bit more today, or hopefully a lot more. Bye-bye for now.